Welcome to another episode of Changeling Venue for Living World of Darkness. Today we have Sir Galador and his new squire patrolling the streets of Brooklyn. He's wearing his armor, he's full outfit, his squire probably has a little set of chainmail on, and she's kind of trailing after him. And they're walking around, and feel free to intro.
She feels so much more alive and full, almost too full. She won't need to eat for another week now. She stretches herself out and calms down, feels herself shrinking back into her mortal seeming. That was a good nightmare that she ate today. Selena tucks Nosehorn away for now and stops as she sees further up the road. Oh, what's that? Oh, it looks like a she. Does seem like there's more and more of them. But then again, this is Queens, and this is a neighborhood that she doesn't go to that often. Best not to attract their attention. To be honest, she's had nothing but trouble from the she. So the Athene known as Nosehorn, who in her face seeming would look about now, I think, from the waist up, she would be a woman covered in jewelry, with massive fangs and giant yellow eyes. And from her waist down, she would look like a snake. Yes, that woman carries her books and things with her and tries to avoid catching the she's attention. She has just eaten, after all, and she knows that some of them get a little bit finicky about that sort of thing.
I'll roll to see if he notices. Do you want to roll against or just go with it?
Let's just go with it. Okay, so let's check you out there. She's just ravaged.
Okay, so Galador approaches with his squire trailing behind him. He just approaches her curiously and says, "Ma'am?"
Yes?
I simply wanted to come by and say hello. I've never met Nadine, and I wanted to apologize. Well, never met Nadine in friendly terms. I'd like to apologize.
Right here in the street?
Not necessarily.
Yes, sir. Have I done anything wrong?
He kind of frowns. No need to call me sir. You haven't done anything wrong. He kind of looks around a little confused.
Are you here about the job?
What job?
Ah, okay. Well, never mind.
He just nods. None of my business.
Hey, have you seen anybody like me around here?
No, that's actually why I was coming over.
Oh.
I was kind of worried that you may be lost, because I've never seen anyone with your sort of appearance before around here.
Interesting. Well, I don't come here very often, actually. I'm actually just here to a little bit of research, and also taking the sights. I hear that there's a lot of good food around here.
He smiles. Yes, our beautiful county, I suppose, has many great restaurants in it.
I'm sorry, you haven't introduced me to your friend. And she points towards the squire.
He simply kind of gestures her forward, and the girl steps forward. She's a boggin, so she's fairly short.
Hmm.
And he introduces her as Eleonora Ap Dougal. He introduces himself as Galador Ap Dougal.
Eleanor Galador. Sons and daughters of Dougal. Pleased to meet you. My name is Selena.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Lady Selena. You said you were doing research. Might I inquire what research you are doing without being rude?
It's a little pet project of mine. For some home improvement.
Ah, I see.
I'm trying to fix things.
I see.
Actually, I don't suppose you know where I might get some armor.
I could make you some. You could always go to the Goblin Market.
Oh, that place, I don't like it. So too many walls, too easy to get lost, and I don't like it. It's wrong. Layout's all wrong. But
I understand.
you would make armor for somebody like me.
He kind of takes a deep breath, and if peace is to be achieved, then we must treat all others as we would treat our own.
Your family's name is Dougal, you said.
He nods.
Very interesting.
I am not one of the typical she of my house, as you may guess already. I do not bow to the whims of those who think they are born to rule without showing the merit and the will and the ability to lead, not rule.
How might I contact you, if I do want to get some armor off you?
The easiest way, do you know Count Vladimir?
Yes, actually, I'm working quite closely with him right now.
He is my liege, and it would probably be easiest to find him and contact him, and he can relay any information to me.
I will do so. You're from Brooklyn, are you?
Not natively, no, but I
Ah,
make my home here now.
okay. Sorry, I was just asking because, it doesn't matter. I'll contact Vlad. Thank you. Thank you.
You are very welcome. He and Eleanor he'll actually offer if Nosehorn would like for them to accompany her to wherever she's going if she'd like some companionship, or even just a guard if she's going through a hostile area.
Could you roll me 5 dice?
There you go.
What do we got there?
2 successes. The 8 and the 9.
I thank you for the offer, but I can take care of myself.
Of course, milady. It's simply our duty to protect those in those in this area. And an offer is never impolite in this day and age.
Where's Dimitri right now?
It's probably just walking down the street with a cup of coffee, haggard look on his face. What he's wearing is probably just kind of a thrown together outfit of very worn jeans and a t-shirt and probably some kind of light jacket. He's also probably being followed closely by Kavita, who is his chimera. The best way to explain Kavita would be take a back legs and body of a Great Dane, the forelegs of a bird with completely tufts of yellow feathers, and then the neck and head of a black rat snake, and then make that the size of a Great Dane. That's basically Kavita.
Oh, I like it.
So
he's just kind of walking down the street.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, he's just kind of walking down the street, open cup of coffee, looks almost exhausted. Kavita's almost prancing along happily behind him.
You see a cat with unusual red, thick whiskers, kind of watching you, and then it's obviously chimerical, and after a moment it walks down the street and walks towards the the she in the boggin and the strange snake lady standing there talking, and it jumps on the she's shoulder, whispers something in his ear, and he turns to look at you and gives you a friendly wave.
Dimitri kind of just lifts up his cup, kind of a hello. He probably is walking pretty closely, if not past them, type of thing. Just.
My character, the snake lady, is going to be staring at you, very confused look on her face, and also she's looking up and she's looking down. She's meeting both sets of you, in your eyes.
Hello? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to be rude or anything.
Have we met before?
I don't believe so. He's kind of stopped at this point. He's kind of turned slightly. Just, sorry. Reaches out to him. Dimitri Braun.
She just kind of like, takes her hand and looks at it.
Shakes it slowly.
You look so familiar.
Thank you, I think.
What?
Have you met Toshi?
I'm sorry, Dimitri. My name is Selena. Where do you work here? I swear to God, are you an actor?
No, I'm not an actor. I work over in Queens. If you've met Toshi, that's probably where you're going to get the comparison from. I've gotten that a lot lately for some reason. Maybe it's the big blue.
No, I've met that thoroughly unpleasant man before.
The she knight just chuckles at that.
But you... Oh, that's...
Maybe.
Huh.
It's a large city, after all. Practically huge.
That's weird. I'm sorry, I'm running late, but, God, where have I... Here, this is my phone number. Get some paper. writes down, hands it to you. So you get a scrap of banality, and she hands a little scrap of banality over to Galador. Hopefully you guys can take it.
His squire, Galador's squire, will actually take it. She'll pocket it.
Oh, you're a sick bastard there.
He's actually like, she walked up and took it before he had a chance to, and he's kind of looking at her awkwardly, like kind of confused.
Yeah, Dimitri will probably
Galador
take
is
it.
not very chivalrous.
He's unseelie. He doesn't have to be.
No. I bet he splits the check on the first date too. No, for her part, that banality doesn't seem to affect her at all. But yeah, she is in a hurry though. She keeps on looking back at Dimitri. It's really bugging her, and she's not bothering to hide it either. And as she walks away, her human form is walking away, but her snake form is just still looking at you like, what the? She's trying to see through you or something. Like, where have I seen this person before? Huh. Okay, out of character. I gotta go, guys. I'm sorry.
Not a problem.
Okie dokie. Talk to you later.
Talk to you.
So Galador kind of looks over at Dimitri as the snake woman leaves and inclines his head to him. I have not met you before. Greetings.
Dimitri kind of looks over at him and kind of puts two and two together with Squire. She just bows slightly. Greetings to you as well, my lord.
His eyebrow just raises when you say that. That is not necessary.
No, why not? You're overnight, aren't you?
I am a knight. I am simply patrolling. There's no reason to call us anything other than what is polite for you to call your friends or those you have just met.
True, but tradition and honor must be observed.
His eyebrow just quirks, and she doesn't say anything, but he just lets out he just slowly nods. I suppose.
I mean, I am just a squire after all, not yet earned my honors as a knight.
You are a knight, you are a squire. What house do you belong to?
Right. Should have done that. Dimitri kind of... He kind of nods again, just... Dimitri Bronov Gwydion, at your service, sir. Might I have the pleasure of your name?
I am Sir Galador ap Dougal. And this is my squire, Eleanor Nee Dougal. The moment you said Gwydion, his demeanor changed ever so slightly. He's still polite, but it's just ever so slightly colder. Yes.
Well, Dimitri's still going to be just perfectly polite. He's going to also kind of bow to his squire. It is a pleasure to meet you both. I hope I'm not inconveniencing you in any way.
Oh, no, we are out on patrol. What brings you to the fine county of Bright Shores?
A walk. Just fine. It helps clear the head.
Banality clouding or head, or simple worry?
Nah. Problems I had ever since I was a kid. Sleeping problems.
I find a good knock on the head usually helps with those kind of problems.
Yeah, you see, it does, but then there's always the waking up the next morning. That's always the problem.
True. That is a consideration. He and his squire begin walking down the road again, and he motions, if you would, for you to follow, if you'd like.
Dimitri just kind of shrugs. I mean, he's got nothing better to do right now. Just kind of follows, not too closely, but not too far. Kavita's still kind of prancing along beside him.
So I have not seen you before. I know it is a big city. Are you from New York, from the Kingdom of Apples? Or are
Yeah,
you...
originally I was actually lived in a small town outside of the city, but moved here when business and, well, kind of thanks for a second. Circumstances changed.
I see.
Yourself?
I am not native to this land.
Interesting.
He's still walking. Him and his squire both seem to be very much watching other people walking by, but she seems, for her part, fairly quiet. She's probably, fiddling with some little piece of metal that she seems to be reworking and almost molding, almost like you can't tell if it's clay or what.
Mm-hmm.
But he just kind of still looks at you very curiously, but you do not bear any arms of your house.
I'm out on a personal walk. There's really no need to go full coat of arms.
But most of us still carry at least some symbol of our allegiance. It's more a matter of pride, per se, in our houses.
I mean, this is true. Just, to be quite frank, I was honestly not expecting to see anyone. Just walk down, walk back, essentially. And as soon as I was done, go back to bed.
I see, but there are many of us, and even on this walk, even on this patrol alone, I've seen over a dozen of our kind.
This is true. This is true.
And you say you are a squire. Who trains you? Sir Squire the Gwydion.
Believe it or not, I am currently in service to Miss Laney. Baroness Laney. Excuse me.
Baroness Laney. He has a smile. It's not a malicious smile. It's just kind of almost like a surprised smile. Yes, I've met the Baroness many a time. I'm afraid her and I have a rather cold working relationship. But she is a fine liege, and I am sure you will be trained well.
Yeah, got a lot to learn. Got a lot to learn. He kind of shakes his head, obviously remembering events from the other night, but doesn't bring them up, type of thing.
I see you. You said that you have met Toshi before, correct?
Met him, drank with him. He puked into a toilet. It was a night.
I assume then that you have met his liege, Lady or Baroness Estrella.
He kind of stops, gets this kind of almost what expression on his face. Just, she's a baroness too?
Yes.
He obviously just kind of he just puts his hand on his face and just gets the expression of, oh God, really? And he's just, okay, so that's the second person I didn't know whose rank there is.
Did you comport yourself poorly in front of the Baroness?
Oh no. I didn't. No. If anything, she was in the same boat almost all of us were. The problem is it just, I don't know. It's nice to know how to react to certain situations. And knowing when someone is holding a power over your head, that kind of helps a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Smidgen.
That is true, but Baroness Estrella is not one to hold such power over your head. Were I not in service to my current liege lord, I would be serving her, for she exemplifies many great ideals.
Oh. Nice to know we're in good company then.
Yes, both both Baroness Laney and Baroness Estrella are rather more relaxed, and the demands of the court when they are not holding said court, but I can see where not knowing her rank would be unsettling.
Yep. But in any case, you two expecting any trouble? You seem to be shifting everywhere.
My liege lord is not the most well liked, and there is great. I find it best to be prepared. I would not put it past some of his political foes to send dissidents and such to his barony. There is out of character. I mean county. He said county, not barony.
It's totally fine.
Is that fucked there? Out of character.
You're good, man. Cloak and dagger. Cloak and dagger. Try to keep out of that, but
Such is the nature of politics. Yes, my
so.
house. I am of the opinion, as is most of my house, that such politics are draining, and they divert our attention from the coming winter.
Yeah, it's how the great game is. It's how the great game is played. We're all just pieces on a chessboard, or, well, really a checkerboard, depending on seeing how far people can go and how far they can fall.
In a way, that is true, yes, but that is why I am sworn to my current liege. He holds lofty ideals that I wish to see brought about that would solve many of the issues this kingdom faces, one of which is the insane amount of politicking that goes on in this kingdom.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. He doesn't really betray anything on his face. He just takes a nice long drag from his coffee cup and just. In any case, it's the world we live in currently. It's the world we live in.
But thankfully enough, there are ways to gain respect and to help the kingdom without resorting to such petty politicking.
Yeah, but eventually you have to go through the system, so it's nice to know the system.
True, and I am still a she, so such things come naturally, but I understand what you are saying.
In any case, that was an interesting encounter earlier.
Yes, the Athene.
So that's an Athene. Dimitri kind of connects a couple dots in his head. Just oh.
You have never met one.
Nope.
How long have you been among our people, Dimitri?
Kind of stops, counts on his fingers. Year and a half, about.
That explains why. If you were older, perhaps you would have remembered the Adhene War. That is where most of us know what an Adhene is. That's why most of us rather take a bad view of the Adhene.
Yeah, she seemed all right. A bit odd, but all right.
Yes, but really, among our kind, is that really such an oddity in of itself?
It'd be more odd if she acted completely normal. You're right. Richard kind of nods and just, yeah, really.
But treat them with respect but caution. Even if you do not hold the grudges of the past against them, there is no guarantee they will not hold them against you.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
You may not be she, but you are still part of a house, and a house that is noted as one of the most she-like houses, for lack of a better term. So, even as a squire and a troll, you must still watch your back.
Richard kind of chuckles a bit and takes another drink and just, you're telling me. Yeah. It's what I went to, it's what I was accepted into. There who mentored me.
He nods. If I may give a piece of advice, Dimitri.
By all means, my lord.
He kind of waves his hand when you say my lord, as if like brushing the words away.
Sorry.
Keep something to keep yourself centered. Do not fall into the pride. He stops for a moment, or stops talking for a moment, things. Do not fall to the same curse of pride that many of your kings have fallen into. Your house is a noble house, but many have besmirched its name. If you can keep something to keep yourself from falling into that same trap, then you'll be a great hero among our people, I can tell.
He just kind of takes a drink again, just... I will say, the whole lording yourself over people always left a bad taste in my mouth, but seems always more it's a cudgel to be used than anything, but time will tell, I suppose. I'll keep your advice. He's obviously remembering something, but just kind of shakes his head and just, If it were that easy.
Issues in the past?
He just kind of laughs. Just, oh, you should have seen the veritable fit that was thrown when I was squire to a Fiona. Oh, or was told to my teacher that I was going to be squire to a Fiona. But that's just kind of makes a waving motion. Just that's all business in the past. It has no bearing now.
I would not forget that. As much as I hate to say it, whoever, as you say, threw a fit is most likely not going to forget it easily.
Yeah. Perhaps not. In any case, what can you do? Just
There
wake up.
is much that one can do to stop such, or to protect oneself from such unpleasant circumstances, but I feel this talk is becoming a little too heavy for tonight. Eleanor and I are about to finish our patrol. Would you like to come grab some food with us?
Dimitri kind of looks down at his coffee, looks down at Kawhi, and just, sure, small bite won't hurt.
He smiles, nods. There's a fairly nice little cafe down here. We can sit outdoors. You can head that way. Just, just give me one moment. And he turns and he whispers something to the cat on his shoulder. And the cat just slips off of his shoulders and threads its way through the crowd, disappearing fairly quickly. He nods. All right. Now that he will report that we are off duty and the next ones are to be sent out on patrol, we can go have some food.
I'll drink to that. Just kind of holds his coffee cup.
And if you want, we can end with them going to get some food, or unless you want to keep going with the scene.
It's up to you.
I'm cool either way, so just...
Well, then we are at an impasse.
Okay, so we'll end it here.
Sure.
All right. So our scene ends with Dimitri and Sir Galador and Squire Eleanor heading to a small cafe to have some late night snacks. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, as we did have several watchers. And stay tuned for more.